Young William, welcome back to my series, 10 Dumb Mistakes That You're Making in Job Interviews. Here's number 6, the one that you're making right here, refusing to send a thank you email after a job interview. You are looking at this all wrong. Think about it like dating. If you go on a date with someone and you never hear from them again, you're going to take it as a sign that they are not interested, right? As a hiring manager, if you interview someone and they send you a lovely thank you email, and hear me out, a thank you email might take you tops 3 minutes to write. We're not asking you to write a 40-page dissertation on why you want the job. If you're a hiring manager and you receive a lovely thank you email, that person stays on the top of your mind. You're showing your continued interest in the position. You're showing that you want the job. So go ahead and continue to make this mistake if you want. If you want to prove some weird point, and if you want to make it known that you're not going to do this because they got paid and you didn't, go ahead. How's that working out for you? Okay, now that my rant is over, some of the best thank you emails come from the conversation that you had in the interview. Refer back to the conversation that you had. Perhaps you guys talked about AI and how it's taking over your industry. Maybe send an interesting article that you just read. Thank them for their time, continue to show interest in the position, and most importantly, ask them what the next steps are in the interview process. When you're asked in an interview, tell me what you like least about your current job, I know what you're thinking. What you want to say is, ugh, the culture is completely toxic. I can't wait to get out of there. My current boss is a manipulative narcissist who can't delegate. No, you can't say that. So instead say this, my boss and I are not aligned on some really important philosophies, and I'm looking for a better culture fit. You see, you're saying the same thing, you're just saying it better. For more tips on interviewing, get a Shift profile and follow me. I know your whole life you've been interviewing for jobs, but did you know that it is a very modern concept? You know, back in ancient Greece and Rome, there were no job interviews. In fact, there weren't really jobs. The few people that had jobs were craftsmen or specialists like blacksmiths or carpenters or artists, and they didn't have job openings. They gave their jobs to their family, especially to their sons. You were born into jobs, and there were things called ancient guilds, which are sort of like modern unions, but more like the mafia, that kept people out unless you were born into the position. And the modern job is a very new concept. We've really only been doing this for a few hundred years, and it really became very popular after the Industrial Revolution when we had lots of factories that needed a lot of workers. Before that, we lived in egalitarian structures where we were hunters and gatherers, and then we were farmers and we made our own clothes, and we didn't have jobs, and we lived most of our lives in leisure. For about 200,000 years, people of color and certainly women were kept out of the economy. They are kept out of the job market. I mean, they were working, but they were unpaid, literally slaves, or doing unpaid labor at home, child rearing, taking care of homes, cooking, cleaning, all of that. Why don't we teach people how to interview in high school or colleges? Because historically, interview skills were taught to middle-class white men that had the privilege to go to colleges, and they relied on nuclear family structures like their fathers or uncles to teach them how to interview, because most likely they were going to be interviewing at their alumni organizations or places where they knew other people. It was a small sort of intact network. Interview skills was not a curriculum that you taught in college. It was something that you learned in your family structure, but hence leaving out women and people of color and anyone that wasn't middle or upper class. We still have this problem today. So many people are kept out of this structure, and we don't give people the skills and the tools that they need to learn how to interview better. You know, not much has changed. We now have the ability and the opportunity to interview places, but we aren't given the tools to learn how to do so. So I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to democratize interview skills. I want everyone to have access to this information. I want everyone to feel prepared prepared and should know what to expect, because I know that an interview can change your life, and I know that one of the fastest ways to change your life and your family's life is to make more money. And by keeping interview skills a secret and gatekeeping them as we have for so long, it's only hurting everyone. Follow me. I will teach you how to interview better. I give tips all the time. I wrote the book, Interviewology, The New Science of Interviewing. I discovered interview styles. It is my goal to teach you how to show up more authentically in job interviews and know how to play the game, because unfortunately, the game still exists. Here are 5 quick tips for you to use to write a better resume. Number 1, take the objective off. No one reads them anyways. Number 2, make sure you're choosing the right template for your level of experience. If you have more than 10 years experience, it could be on 2 pages with an executive summary. Less than 10 years experience, you should not be going over 1 page. Number 3, I want you to make sure that when you save your resume, you have a PDF and a Word version, and you save it as your name, first and last, not My Resume 2022. Number 4, use action words on your resume. There's a list of 100 action words to use on my website, shiftprofile.com resources. And number 5, I want you to write killer bullets. If you're having a hard time doing all of this, send me your resume to help@shiftprofile.com. I'm going to be giving out free resume critiques Thursday at 7 p.m. on my live here on TikTok. Follow me for more tips on how to interview better. I'm just a career coach on TikTok trying to teach people how to interview better. And when I scroll around on TikTok, I get really jealous by all of these people that can do cool things on their lives, like making pottery and painting cups and ASMR. I can't really do any of that, but wait, I kind of can. I can critique resumes. I want to do that. I want to help. Have you ever thought that you need a second set of eyes? I am offering free resume critiques tomorrow at 7 p.m. during my live. So if you want me to look over your resume, send it to me. Send it to help@shiftprofile.com and register for my live here and follow me for more tips on how to interview better. Not bad at job interviews. You're probably just unprepared or no one taught you. Did you know that over 90% of people have never been taught to interview? That's weird, and I am on a mission to change it. I want to hit 1 million followers on TikTok, and I am so close. Probably going to hit 1 million around August, but I really want to hit it on my birthday. How cool would that be? My birthday is July 28th. It's like right around the corner. My channel is dedicated to teaching hiring managers and job seekers how to interview better. I wrote the book, Interviewology, The New Science of Interviewing. After discovering interview styles, I wrote a personality assessment that helps you better understand who you are in job interviews. And I share tips once or twice a day that are quick and actionable that teach people how to interview better. If that interests you, share my channel, follow me, share my channel with people that you know that are looking for a job, your husband, your friend, your neighbor. Share my channel to as many people as possible.